All right. Today we're shooting a CVA Wolf muzzleloader. Um, I will sight it in at 25 yards and then go out to 100, just like I did with the Parker and Hale 30-06. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, that's my previous video. Check it out on my channel, Burlo Guns. And today we're gonna shoot the CVA Wolf. I will show you a little bit about cleaning it, how to load it, and just some useful things that will help you guys if you're debating about getting into muzzle loading, but you feel like it is way too complicated. Just watch today's video. I will try to explain it to you the simplest and best way possible. And it's a bit new to me as well. I haven't done a lot of muzzle loading. I do a lot of bolt action rifles and reloading ammo and stuff, but today we're gonna play with a CVA Wolf. So here's some cleaning patches that I use. I picked up Cabela's. Here's a brush and swab if you want it. I sometimes use the brush, not always. Here's the breech plug grease. This extra jag here came with the gun. Comes in very handy. This here is my my bore cleaning product. There are so many different products out there you can use. It's not very picky which ones you use. Let's shut up and shoot. I'll show you how it loads. So today I am using Hodgdon 777 gunpowder in pellet form. These that is 50 grains per pellet. It worked on the previous muzzleloader I shot. There are tons of different types of powders, so this is a pellet form. Let me see if I can show you guys. It comes in pellets like that, and we will load up 2. They're 50 grains each. You can do 3, but to keep the recoil a little bit milder today, we're gonna go with 2. As you can see, 2 pellets, and I'll drop them both down the barrel. That gets closed. I'm shooting Hornady SST bullets. They were very accurate in the other muzzleloader, so let's try them again today. 250 grain SST 50 cal. You take out one projectile. You have a plastic wad or sabot, whatever you want to call them. Actually, I think that's what the bullet's called. And that's your projectile. That's what you jam down the barrel. Let's do that. You have to take this little cap off, and then you use this end to push down the down the bullet. Push it down a ways, and then you can use this cap on top to help push. You want to guide it a little bit. You want to make sure that you don't bend your rod, but you just gently push it down all until it stops. It stops pretty hard. That's how far it sticks out. It's in there properly now. Take a primer. I have a Federal Premium primers is what I use. 209 primers. It's very similar to a shot shell primer. You can either use shot shell primers or these guys, but this is the choice that we're using today. So then we just stick one in the back here. You can see there's a little primer pocket. Stick that guy in there and close it. All you gotta do is pull back the hammer and it is ready to go. So powder, projectile, and primer. All right, we're about an inch low. Sideways was pretty good. We're gonna go straightaways to 100 and sight it in there. So for cleaning it, I just remove the breech plug and use the same ramrod that we use for loading the bullet. And it takes it's a long thread. Breech plug, as you can see, is quite dirty. That one I let get dirtier for a few rounds. That's not a big deal, but the bore itself we're gonna do a little bit of cleaning on. The extra jag goes in here. Then your little cap that you used before for palm saver screws on this here, so you can push and pull. Take a patch, add a bunch of this bore cleaner to it, just kind of soak it. It's alright to get the stuff on your hands. It is safe, it's considered food grade safe, so it's quite safe to get on the hands. Just kind of soaks it up a little bit, and then we do a few more dry ones. You can flip it over, push it through one more time, use the same wet rag for a second push. It'll clean a little bit more yet. Yeah, that feels nice and clean. That one's garbage. So let's have a look down the bore and see what we got. Ah, yeah, it's mostly just wet. So now we will take a dry one. Take a dry rag, brush off the rod, and then push a dry rag through. Just kind of wipe all the moisture out and have a look down the bore, see if there's there's still a little bit of moisture, a little bit of grime in there. We will go at it again, so that you have a clean bore for your second shot. Oh yeah, that's clean enough. We will just push one more dry one through just to make sure all the moisture is out, and ready for the next round. Yeah, that one came out quite clean actually. So put the breech back in. It's still quite dirty, but that's all right. We will clean that one later. Just kind of hand tighten it, not crazy hard, and we're ready for the next round. And since we were pretty close at 25, we'll just hop on over to 100. All right, looks like we were probably about 4 or 5 inches low at 100, and so we'll try again. I'll lift it 4 or 5 inches and see if that gets me on paper. It looks like it's just below the paper. Oh yeah, that's good height. Now we're just going to move a little bit sideways, and we will keep going and see if we can get this thing zeroed in at a 100. Shooting a little bit to the left, but we'll keep going and we'll get it in on zero yet. All right, we're a little bit high at 100. I'll try a few more rounds and see if I can get a little closer, but it's a muzzleloader. It kind of shoots all over the place in like a 2-3 inch area, which is kind of what's expected often of muzzleloaders. Like a 3-inch area, then I think we'll call it good. All right, I went and put some tape on, covered up all the holes, so we have a clean paper. And let's try this again at 100. I'm trying to fine tune it. It's a little bit, it's scattering a bit. I wonder if it has to do with the acoustics of the rod, with the vibration of the barrel not being perfectly consistent. And so we're gonna try it again and see if we can get close to 100. This is a deer rifle, it's for deer hunting, so it's all right if it shoots a 3-inch group. It's a muzzleloader, it's not really meant for long range anyways. Down the road, I am planning to stretch it out yet to see what I can do and fine tune it, try different powders, try different primers, and see if we can get this thing to shoot really accurate yet. But right now I'm just trying to get it ready for deer season that's coming up here in a couple weeks. We're gonna try it with the ram knot in the rifle and see if that changes my point of impact. It's kind of jumping all over the place, not the way I like it, so we're gonna have a rod out and see if that makes a difference for accuracy. Well guys, I got it close. I am about an inch high at 25. I had trouble at 100. I came back to 25. There it was being quite consistent. I'm gonna come back another day and we're gonna stretch out to 100 again and see if that works better without the rod, and so we're gonna try again. We're gonna come back another day up to the range and try again and see if we can get this thing dialed in for hunting season. And but yeah, hey, it's definitely been a frustrating day at the range today, but you know, we have those every once in a while. So let's see what next weekend does. See if we can do we come back another day, probably next weekend, and see if we can make this guy work yet. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.